Welcome back to another exciting learning video. This learning video builds on some of the fine videos we had before. So this is part of the resume series. So once you build your base resume, you may want to make it a little bit more lively. And one of the ways that I've always found to do that is to add like custom logos. And because custom logos add an awful lot to your resume. Now I've had this video out here before, several years ago, but I wanted to update it because I've updated my resume for nothing else. So I really want to apply custom shapes to a Tableau resume. The custom shapes are really the shapes that we have for institutions I've worked at or institutions I've gone to school at and those kind of things. So what we're going to talk about is a little bit of data prep. So data prep here for custom shapes is to find the logos that are associated with the institutions or companies that you work for. So you're going to want to find all those logos, and then you're going to want to collect those logos. You're going to want to place them in a repository. You see here I have documents. I'm on a Mac. I have a documents folder. It's very similar on a Windows-based PC. And in each that documents folder is my Tableau repository. Then there's a shapes folder. And what you do is the shapes folder, the first child under the shapes folder, you create your own folder, basically add a new folder. I've created one for logos. And inside this one for logos, I've added all these different shapes. I went out on the internet and I found these logos. I found them. It's best that you use transparent logos. It makes really more sense because it can go through it. Some people have them, some people don't have them, but most people do. So you can easily find transparent logos available. So it's important to have it under Documents, under my Tableau repository, Shapes, and it's the first folder under that because Tableau will look to this folder to do it. That's really important that you actually get this part. So I emphasize getting your data prep right is important. So try to get your logos, try to make sure that they're in there in the right way. The next thing you do is once you have them in this folder is go back to your Tableau resume. Not the dashboard, but go back to your career and education page. And if you watched the other video, I would have shown you how to create this Gantt chart. We're not really going to create the Gantt chart in this case. What we're going to do is update the Gantt chart. I like to do everything in steps because I just find it more exciting. And so here, where we had our start date created, we can actually duplicate the value by holding the Command key and dragging it over. Now you notice you'll have two fields, the first start date, the second start date, and it creates two graphs. So then what we do here is we go on the second draft. Let's make this one to be the shape draft. So we click on it. You see there's two. We click on it and we change it to shapes. Now, see, you have the two graphs here. One shapes, one's regular Gantt. You're not really going to show it that way, but let's start cleaning this up a little bit. So institution, not really going to color so much. We're going to add shape. Let's put institution to shape because that's what we're going to apply the shapes to. You see, you have early companies, Print, Accenture, Brightstar, that kind of thing. Size, not really relevant here, so let's remove that. We don't really need to add the attributes or tooltips to this one because we have the tooltips in the other one. We will merge these two, so we just want to like clean it up. But I just copied it, that way I would have it all. So now I have these shapes, there's custom shapes, and what we need to do next is we have the shape button, you click shape to shape, you click shape, and what you do is you go through and you go down to logos. Now you may need to hit reload those logos if necessary and assign palette. I've already gone through this exercise, but you could have just assigned it one by one. You know, you see I'll put the wrong one in, for example, and change it, so we go back and click the right one. Maybe, huh? You got the right one, so you get it all done. You hit apply, and you have logos that pop up over here. Okay, so we've done it. It works really pretty well. We've applied custom shapes, and we have the charts put into two sections. So the section on the left, section on the right. So what we want to do with this is actually you want to click up here, and I want to click dual access. Now you see the shapes have joined it. So that's really important. You might also want to make these shapes a little larger. The transparent shapes work a little bit better for this, but you can see I have the shapes. I've added custom shapes to my chart. It adds just a little flavor. When you have graphs and those kind of things, and you add the custom shapes to that, it's not so bad. It's very straightforward. So when you add that, you don't have to worry about the bars overlaying the top of it and those kind of things. So you can make them big as you want to get them right. Make them pretty aesthetic. Some of the logos are nicer, come out pretty clean and effective, but they're pretty great that way. I'm just to play with the size a little bit. It's going to overwhelm, just big enough where they get noticed. And if it's a recognizable logo, like Coca-Cola or Pepsi or Oxford or UM or Harvard, it works out really well. And that's how you create custom shapes on Tableau, particularly a Gantt chart, and merge it into one you've already created. So I'll stop this video. Have a nice day. This is just adding the fine print, so to speak, the little spices that make your resume so nice.